good morning, evening, or afternoon, whichever one's going on for you at this current point in time. Today, first and foremost, Happy New Year. It is currently the 3rd as of making this video, and I wanted to hit the ground running as far as the new year. Now, in a second, I'm going to get right into it. You're going to see the quality of the video drop a little bit because my phone did mess up, so I had to use a kind of less quality phone, so the camera might be a little bit less, beautiful, but the working and the fixes are the same. Now, currently, the reason I wanted to go out to this home was because she was telling me that she only uses hot water for washing, no cold water. She can't get cold rinses, not even warm water, just full hot. That's horrible for your clothes and more painful for your heating bill because you have to heat that water up, which makes it more expensive. So let's get right into it. We'll go this way. Also, quick side note, just wanted to say, you can't always just plop down a tripod or pick it up and be like, hey guys, today I'm gonna be like walking through while somebody's like clearly watching TV, their kids are running around. You wanna have more respect for people's homes. So bigger channels, they'll walk in and they'll be like, today on something repairs or DIYs or fix, today we're gonna be, and they're like walking in, clearly you can see the person's address, the corner and the street they live on, their license plates. Don't do that. Some weirdo, somebody might try to hurt them or find them or do something weird. Privacy is key. That's how I like to work. So I get in, I get out, and I only set up a camera if there's permission. And even though the person I'm doing this for was not home, you still respect their home whether they're there or they're not. Okay, I'm done now. Bye.
Now, some people say their washing machine, for whatever reason, is either not doing hot, not doing cold. My headlamp, there is no light back here. Phone, okay. So this is the hot hookup. This is the cold. If you look in here, sometimes these mesh filters get incredibly dirty. For a machine that is almost 30 years old, basically, this thing looks immaculate, right? It doesn't seem to work, but I don't know what they did here. This is clearly not up to code, but I put this hose in here. Watch out for the splash zone. When you turn this valve on, that's their cold. So the lines are not busted. It's just whatever hack job person did this never turned the water on for the tenant. She's been without water without cold water. She's been using hot water for everything. And that can be expensive, especially if you're using this on clothes all the time. Of course, if you're in here, you should be replacing these old washers or those little black gaskets inside. Now, once you get some PTFE, make sure these old fittings, you give them a little something. Sometimes they're so old, as soon as you loosen them up, they leak forever. If the hoses show any signs of breakage or extreme bending, especially around these crimp connections, they tend to get that little bunching up, almost like a wrinkling. Yeah, that happens. This little belly right here, they start to get loose. Right. Anyways, so after one full bucket of water later, you can smell a lot of chlorine, a lot of sediment that's built up in this water. Again, they haven't used the cold water in probably a couple years. It's all been hot. So if you look really close, you can see little things kind of floating in the sediment. If I put my headlight straight to the water, you can kind of see little stuff floating on the surface of the water. You want all that stuff to not be going through your machine. Your machine will filter it, but you don't want it in there. So get some PTFE. I'm going to wrap these up and we're going to take it for a test lead. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to show you what else it can be. Little Teflon never hurt nobody. Let's get this in and make sure you thread it slowly and straight. If you had a little pipe dope, I don't have any on me, unfortunately, but I know this is going to hold. If it doesn't for whatever reason, absolutely happy to come back and take a look. With that being said, there's an engraving for C. One down here has got an H for hot. Now with that, I'm going to turn the pressure back on. And you can see there is a bit of a leak there. So let's take care of it. Also no knob, but they did etch this. So we go to the short cycle, right? That's hot. We go to cold, and it finally has cold. Woo! Okay. Now, real quick, when you pull up on it, if for whatever reason you open and there is no rinse for your washing machine, it means that your pressure switch, wherever it might be, grab a small screwdriver and press that. If you press that and your machine does what it's supposed to do, then it's not that. But if you press this, nothing happens, or the rinse is not going, then it could be your pressure switch that is out. See that? Wonderful. 10 out of 10. And don't forget to make sure that your drain is working. Very important. Now, since there's more liability for me to show you by opening the machine, just so you know, these two things are hooked up to an inlet valve. They're hooked up to solenoids. It's basically the power gets sent to the board that tells that thing let in a certain amount of hot water or a certain amount of cold water, and then when the solenoid cuts the circuit, the water will be stopped because the solenoid, the valve, will shut close and stop the water going in. When that happens, which I will put a picture on the screen somewhere here, that is something that does go bad over time. It happens, not your fault, nothing you did, especially if there's old houses, old surges, and quote unquote, as you can see from something like this, see that loose prong? Things like that happen. This thing, I would clip this and solder in a new plug if anything, but you know, not my machine, so I can't say. But when you're going to replace that, make sure you test for continuity before you replace it. All you have to do is just touch the two prongs and you should be able to get continuity with a multimeter. If there's no continuity, it means your solenoid is bad and you got to change the whole unit. Unfortunately, they don't make just the individual parts. It comes as one assembly, which is good because out with the old, in with the new, and you'll be on your way to washing your clothes as normal. Fortunately for her, all she needed was the water to be opened, and that was it. It's kind of ridiculous, but I just wanted to let you know, clean your filter. That could potentially be an issue for why your hot water or cold water is not working. And if they're clean, it could be an issue electronically or a mechanical issue that just happens over time, especially with harder water. And last thing I'm going to say is if you have the ability to, let me just try to sneak this in because it's very tight in here. If you have the ability to change these ancient valves, please change them out for a small little inlet box for your hot and your cold. That makes, future tending to, whether it's me or a professional or, you yourself want to fix something in your house, you should have a little box where you can easily cut your water sources off in case there's a leak. You're not flooding your kitchen up until you can find the source. Now, it did leak for a while, and this is all the result. This just needs a little bit of a mop, and we're on our way. And really quick before I go, if y'all gonna be doing this, please clean your mess up, right? If y'all got water on the floor, please clean this up. They won't call you back if you leave a mess everywhere. Okay? Clean.
And that is how you get it done. Let me just get a little closer. Come here. Okay. All right. 5 inches back. Okay, perfect. And that's how there is to it. I did not charge for this, of course, because it is a very silly fix. However, if you are a person who is trying to gain income through this, if you go out and you solve someone's issues, absolutely charge for your time. Not a ridiculous amount. Of course, be very fair, be very reasonable, and understand that if you charge them for the time straight up, they might not call you back. That's why people add the charges at the end of the actual fix as a service charge. It's understandable. Please don't take advantage of people. It might just be small things, but it is your time as well, so you have to have a good balance. With that being said, Happy New Year. I'm glad this worked out for her. Hopefully one of the reasons that I added in this video might be happening for you. If you did it and it's working, fantastic. If it's not and you called somebody, thank you for calling a professional rather than flooding your house and potentially causing a lot of damage, not only for you, but whoever's living under you. And have a good day. And until next time, work smart.